Hi everyone, I'm Christine. I am the director of the BFA in Creative Writing at Stony Brook. I am a poet, that is the writing that I do, and I also teach poetry in the BFA program. So nice to meet you all. I'm just going to give you a fairly brief overview of what we do in the BFA, give you an overview of our courses, the different things you get to do when you're part of the program, a little bit of what happens after graduation. And then, yeah, we'll open it up for any questions that you all might have. All right, so to start off, the academic program of the BFA is unique. I'm not sure how much research you all have done into creative writing programs, but at the undergrad level, most programs offer a BA in creative writing, which is more like an English degree. We offer a BFA, which is modeled more on a master's level program where there's a lot of focus just on your individual writing. So this is what the general curriculum looks like for an incoming BFA student. If you enter as a BFA, you will be placed with other incoming BFAs and you will stay together as a cohort throughout your 4 years here at Stony Brook. If you come to Stony Brook and transfer in later, you still take all these same courses and you get to meet up with people usually in your second or third years. I'll just note that we have these 10 workshops that you take as a BFA. The topics of each of these genres change every semester, so you can repeat as many times as you want. So some people will take 5 or 6 fiction workshops or 5 or 6 poetry workshops. It really depends on what you're interested in. And that's really what is the core of our program. That is the focus on individual student writing. In your senior year here, you will take a capstone cluster with the other creative writing majors in your year. And the big project that you work on as a senior is you write your thesis. You write your thesis, which is a book with one-on-one guidance from a faculty mentor. So all of this information is on our website. I just want to give you a snapshot of what it looks like to be a student here. Oops. Right. So as I was saying about workshops, workshops are a little bit different perhaps from regular English courses that you've taken before. There's reading, of course, in workshop courses. You read published fiction or published poetry. You read traditional works, so canonical works. You also read more contemporary things. It's really based on what the professor is focusing on. And we have many different topics that get taught in a sequence, but there's no particular order that you have to take these. You can take these based on whatever titles are interesting for you. So these are just some of the examples of the workshops that we've taught recently. And then we also have other courses like the Publishing Practicum, which prepares you to work in publishing or editing, if that's something you're interested in. We have children's literature, which always fills up really fast because people are interested in that. We have science fiction, and we also have courses in TV writing, screenwriting, script writing. So really, whatever you're interested in writing, we have courses for you. Let's go to my next slide. The other thing about our courses is that every course is taught by a published faculty member. This is just a sampling of some of the books that our faculty have published. So it's not so much about getting lectured to by a professor, but really working with a working writer who understands what it's like to write, who understands the publishing process, and can really guide you along that process yourself. Let's see, our next one. The other thing about our program is that we have this community that we build. Creative writing is a fairly small program on the large Stony Brook campus, but we together create our own space here. We offer these different types of events that are available for students. We have the Imagine Reading series, where we have student readings, we have faculty readings, we have visiting writer readings. So it's really a way to get to know other faculty, get to know your fellow students, and also just hear from different writers who happen to be coming through. We also have the Create series, which is focused on screenwriting, film, and they also started this new science and cinema program. So there's always something to do, always something to attend here on campus. And so that's our department hosted things. We also have really active student groups. So we have the Creative Writing Salon, which is entirely student run, and you can see some photos here. This one on the left was from last semester when they hosted a nature poetry day. So you can see that they got together, went outside, did some writing. And they also have just weekly meetings where they get together, talk about writing, talk about what they've been reading, and it's a chance for them to work on their writing outside of the classroom. On the far right here, you can see we have the masthead of the Sandpiper Review. The Sandpiper Review is our student-run undergrad literary journal here on campus. So if you're a student, you can work behind the scenes as an editor, or if you want to publish your work, you can submit your work there to be published. Okay. So what happens after graduation? So you go through our curriculum, you meet all your friends. A lot of our students go on to publish. These are just some of the publications where our students' work has appeared. Um, some of our students even publish when they are still students. We have some really talented people who do that even before graduation, but a lot of our students really start publishing in the year or two after they graduate. Because you graduate with your thesis, you have this full manuscript that you can start sending out, and you can start getting known for your work that way. All right. And I know everyone wants to know what happens after the BFA. So most of our students, at least recently, have gone on to more school. We have students who are currently getting MFAs in creative writing, MAs or PhDs in English, who have gone to law school, medical school, and we have a couple of students who are pursuing library science. And then other students have gone directly into working. They find work at publishing houses, magazines, film studios, and libraries. And that's just the information that I could pull right away, but our students do many, many different things afterwards. There might be the idea that a creative writing degree is limiting, but really it prepares you for anything that you want to do afterwards. All right. So the creative writing degree at Stony Brook, because it's a BFA, because it's a very select community, it is by application only. But we're really just looking for someone who wants to write. We want to make sure that you have not just the talent, but the ambition to be able to complete your thesis in 4 years. Not everyone can write a book, right, in their senior year. So we just want to make sure that you have the energy that it's going to take to get there. So if you want to apply to the BFA, you will submit a creative writing supplement, which we can talk about a little bit more later. It includes a statement of purpose and a writing sample. So we just want to know who you are as a writer, what you like to read, and give us a little bit of a sample of what you've been writing. And if you want, you can submit the name of a recommender who can speak directly to your creative writing, but that is optional. Right. When you format your creative writing supplement, you just put it all together. For poetry, one poem per page. For prose, double space throughout. And you will upload this along with your Stony Brook application. And again, we can come back to this or talk about this more if you have questions. And finally, if you have questions later, you can email our department email address, which is right here. And then we also have Wolfie Writers is our official BFA account on Instagram. And then SBU, CWL Salon, and Sandpiper Review are those student-run clubs. So if you want to see more of what it's like to be a student, you can check out those accounts. All right, I'm going to pause there and see if anyone has questions or if anyone wants me to go back to a different slide.
You can use the Q&A or you can even unmute yourselves to ask questions. I do want to add on the application side of things. So we have, SUNY has free application week, which starts October 20th and it runs until November 3rd. So if you are interested in applying to Stony Brook, you can apply for free during that time period. Just know our early action deadline is November 1st. We usually recommend for creative writing that you apply by the early action deadline. Um, because there's also the portfolio review aspect to it that will need to be reviewed. So I would highly recommend that if you're looking to apply by November 1st, then I wouldn't wait until November 1st to apply because you need to get access to your portal to submit your creative writing materials, and that takes a couple days. So I would actually highly recommend applying by the week before November 1st. This way you have enough time to get access to your portal. And then when you log into your portal, you'll be able to upload these items. So you'll upload your statement of purpose and your writing sample into a PDF and put that there. And then if you are asking someone for a letter of recommendation specifically who can talk about your writing, you can put the name of the recommender in your portal as well. Stony Brook does require a letter of recommendation for the general application to the university. So we will already have a letter of recommendation on file for you. So again, the letter of recommendation for the creative writing portfolio is optional. But if you want to have someone submit one on your behalf, you would just put their name in the portal. So again, those items get posted in your portal, and then we'll receive the information and review it. So if you're applying by the November 1st deadline, typically early action students will get their decisions by the end of January. We send them out in two batches. So a big batch in December and then another batch in January. There's a question, can you please go back to the first application slide? Is that the
Yeah, I
first?
think this is the first one. If
That's the
not,
first one.
let me know.
Okay.
Uh, so all this information is on the website, but yes, this is what the supplement is going to look like. I just want to add, as I'm talking to you all, if I had been told when I was applying to college that I had to submit a creative writing supplement, I did go to college and major in creative writing, but they didn't require a special application for creative writing from me. If I were asked that, I know I would have felt really shy and scared about turning in my writing. I loved to write when I was in high school, but it wasn't something I had ever done formally. I didn't have teachers who had told me about my writing or had anything to say about my writing. So I would have been really scared to submit my creative writing sample. And so I just want to tell you all, you do not need to be scared. Okay. We just want to see what you're interested in doing, get a sense of who you are as a writer. There's no reason to be shy or scared about submitting your work. But if you have questions about it, please do email us. We take a look at formatting. We let you know if something's not looking quite right. We can give you feedback if that will make you feel less nervous about submitting.
We do have a question. How many students are accepted into the creative writing program as a first year student? I think that can change from year to year, but do you want to go ahead and take that, Christine?
Yeah, we right now we have the capacity to take 25 students per year. That's really based on the what you do as a senior, which is write your thesis. We have the capacity for faculty to work one-on-one with 25 students right now. And so it really varies how many we take in the first year. A lot of times we'll have students who come to Stony Brook, maybe didn't get into the BFA, but took a couple of classes and then reapplied. Or we'll have students who came to Stony Brook and weren't even thinking about creative writing, but then took an intro to creative writing class and really liked it, and then applied and got in. So there are students, sometimes we take just a few students in the first year, but then a lot more students will get in their second year or third year. It really just depends on on the student application. But again, don't be afraid, just submit. Don't worry about numbers.
Yeah, and I think definitely applying by the early action deadline will help you and your application because it gives them more time to review for the supplement also.
Mhm.
We also have a minor. Do you want to mention the minor, Christine?
Sure. Yeah, we have a creative writing minor here. So if you're not 100% sure you want to commit to creative writing right up front, which is fine, you can declare the minor, which is a much It's a smaller version of the major. You don't write your thesis, but you do take a lot of the same courses. You are in workshops with other creative writing students. So it's a way to really get to do creative writing without having to commit to it completely as a major. We have a lot of students at Stony Brook who are interested in becoming doctors or going into the sciences. So a lot of them will do a creative writing minor to make sure that they get to keep the stuff that they love alive as they're doing the stuff that they feel like they're supposed to be doing.
Mhm. And you mentioned something before about how students sometimes apply and they might not get in as a
Hmm.
freshman. Um, that's okay because you still get to take some creative writing courses
Hmm.
as a freshman. So you still get to take those courses, get a little experience behind you, and then reapply again to get into the major later on as well. Or sometimes, students decide they want to do the minor too. So
Hmm.
there's lots of different opportunities for students. I also like how you mentioned with the curriculum that there is kind of flexibility and students can kind of, in a way, choose how they want to go about the program. Like you have those workshops, and they can even retake the same workshop the
Hmm.
next semester or another semester, so you can take it more than once. And what's interesting is that it's always going to be different every time you take it,
Hmm.
whether it's a different faculty teaching it or a different content. So that's pretty great. Not many majors have that type of flexibility. We do have a question. Is there anything we should look for in our writing to decide what sample to submit? Good question.
All right. So as we put here, right, you send us what you feel like is the strongest work that shows who you are as a writer. If we're thinking just logistically, as we say here, it's better to submit one strong 10-page story rather than two weaker 7-page stories. So we're looking for about 10 to 15 pages, right? But I don't want you really changing your writing sample to fit the page count. Just submit like one solid piece is better than multiple pieces that you don't feel as strongly about. Uh, Generally, students will submit 1 to 2 genres. So a student will say, submit like a 7-page short story and then maybe 5 pages of poetry. You can do that. You can submit more than 2 genres. You can really divide that up however you want. I just want to make sure that you're submitting the work that you feel best shows who you are as a writer.
And then we had another question, but that kind of covers it. It's how many writing samples are we allowed to submit, and are they allowed to be different types of writing, like poetry and fiction?
Yeah, so you can only submit one writing sample, so 10 to 15 pages, but within those 10 to 15 pages, you can put whatever you want. So however many genres or however many pieces that fit into that page number, you're welcome to submit.
But we do
Within
have screenwriting too as well.
within our department, so our department is called Creative Writing Film and TV. So we have students who are interested in filmmaking. We also have students who are really interested in screenwriting. And so we have minors also in TV writing and film writing, if that's what you're interested in as well. Do BFA students have to reapply if they want to be in the MFA program after the BFA is over? Yes, if you want. So Stony Brook does have an MFA in creative writing. We have a few students who do go from the BFA to the MFA, but it is its own degree and it is its own program, so you would reapply. You would meet some of the current MFA students in your classes, though. A lot of times they'll teach the Intro to Creative Writing class, so you can get a sense of what it's like to be an MFA student from them.
And is the MFA mainly out of Southampton campus,
It is
or
everywhere.
it's
So
everywhere?
the MFA, we have classes in Southampton, we have classes in Manhattan, the MFA in creative writing, and then we also have the MFA in film and TV writing. They're really holding more and more classes in Manhattan because that's where most of the people are.
Yeah, it's nice that Stony Brook has that accessibility to Manhattan.
Hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know where we're located, we're on Long Island on the North Shore, 60 miles east of New York City. And then we do have the Long Island Railroad train station on our campus, so students can head directly into the city. So I'd say we're kind of like the halfway point between Manhattan and Southampton, because then you can also get to Southampton from Stony Brook, mainly by car. I think they even might even have a shuttle for students too.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so we're kind of like in the middle of it all.
We are also piloting a new program in the spring semester, so we'll see how it goes, where we have one of our one of our faculty who usually teaches the graduate classes. She's going to be teaching an undergraduate fiction workshop in Manhattan. The Manhattan campus is about 2 blocks from Penn Station. So if you were to take the train from Stony Brook University to Penn Station, you would only have to walk about 2 blocks to get to the quote unquote Manhattan campus, which is in a floor in a building. But we're doing a once a week class in the spring that's held on Fridays from 12 to 3. So students, if you want, you can take the train into Manhattan, take your fiction workshop, and then maybe hang out a little bit before coming back to campus. That's a good question. So the kind of one way to think about it is that the people who are interested in reading writing that was written by AI, they were not going to be interested in the writing that we were doing anyway, right? Like if you love poetry, or if you love fiction, or if you love creative nonfiction, you love it because you love the personality behind it. You love the complication of it. You like how it really reflects the complexity of what it's like to be a human. And so you don't love it for the same reasons that people maybe go to AI for other types of writing and reading. So that's one way to think about it, that our writing is not going to be affected because we were not what people were reading anyway. But in general, I feel like we will just continue to evolve, right? We'll figure things out. Um, I don't think anyone really knows exactly what's going to happen or how this is going to work out, but everyone is still working and everyone is still doing what they were doing. So I think we'll just figure it out and evolve as things go on. But yeah, that's a good question.
You can always reach out to us. You can email us. Our email is enroll@stonybrook.edu, or you can reach out directly to the Creative Writing program, creative writing _ BFA at stonybrook.edu. Um, and just let us know if you have any questions. So thanks so much for joining us
Oh,
tonight.
there's a
Thank you,
question.
Christine.
There's a
Oh, there
question
is.
that's for you.
Go ahead. Oh, for me.
Yeah.
Okay. What are dorm living expenses like? Is Stony Brook more of a commuter school? So, I'd say to live on campus, usually it's a little over $10,000 in addition to your tuition. So if you're a New York State resident, you have one tuition, and then out of state students have a different tuition cost. Um, we've gotten so many students wanting to live on campus, we've had to build more residential halls. We actually have a new residential facility opening this spring. So it's almost done. But there's been a lot of students wanting to live on campus. So, and it's just grown over the years. And then we even have more plans for more residential buildings to be built in the future as well. Um, so I'd say we're probably between 60 to 70% of students living on campus. So we are a pretty big residential school, which is great because it adds to our student life. We have Division I athletics. We have so many wonderful arts programs. We have the Stoller Center for the Arts. We have over 200 clubs and organizations as well. So lots of things for students to do and lots of events throughout the year for them to look forward to. Oh, good. You're planning a trip to campus. Yeah. So if you Our visiting campus, you can register on our website for a tour and information session, and they'll take you around campus and show you more of the university and tell you about the application process. We usually do some virtual information sessions as well. So if you're maybe further from campus and you can't quite get here, you can always do one of our virtual information sessions, and we can give you a whole overview of the university and the application process. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Okay, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Christine, for hosting us.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful talking with you. And good luck to everyone who is going to be applying this year. So hope you have a great college application experience.
Yes, good luck,
Let us know
everyone.
if you have any questions. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.